Hi, I'm Lee. I'm a New Zealander living in the East Riding of Yorkshire, and this is my podcast about my handmade life. I'm on Instagram as Louleigh_, and on Ravelry as Louleigh. I have an Etsy shop where I sell knitting needle cases and notions pouches, and that's Shop Louleigh on Etsy, and you can find links to all of my online places at louleigh.com. Wow, it's been a little while since I've podcasted, mainly because I've only been working on 2 projects and making a snail's pace amount of progress, so it doesn't make for incredibly good podcasting. But now that I have switched on the camera, I'm actually feeling a little bit flustered. Yeah, here's the dog. This is my flustered face. I wanted to start by telling you about a sewing project that I've been doing that has turned into shop news. So I have been developing a taste for fancy coloured pencils. I was given the almanac for Christmas, which I'm really enjoying, and I've been enjoying colouring in the pictures. I'm not improving the book at all, but it's kind of an annual publication, so it's going to be out of date by the end of the year, and I'm just enjoying myself immensely. And I had some coloured pencils which were terrible. They didn't put down a lot of pigment on the page as well, so I've bought myself some new ones, and I wanted to make a case to put them in where I could actually see all the colours without having to tip them all out or to rummage around, where they would be safe. And so I made myself this case, and it's basically my notions pouch but just a little bit wider. So it opens up into a box like this. So all my pencils are just sat there. Let's focus over here. Yeah, so all my pencils are just sat there where I can see them. And so I decided to put some in the shop as well, and they're on pre-order at the moment. This is one that I've made up already. And it opens up. And this particular one has a really pretty peach bees lining. But there are some with puffins and some with mermaids and yeah, a few other ones. There's a bee theme as well. So if you want one of those, you can go over to Shop Louleigh and pre-order one, and they will go out in the post on the 22nd of February. I've just given the dogs their Kongs so that we will remain undisturbed, and Bobby has just let off a very loud belch. So if you hear background noises, then it's the animals. I'm blaming it squarely on them. In community news this week, I wanted to talk about the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and I have been asked if I'm going, and the answer is yes, and if I will be organising a breakfast meetup again this year, and the answer to that is yes as well. I've put a thread in the Louleigh Ravelry group, so if you're interested in coming, then pop over there and you can check out all the details. It will be on the 22nd of February, which is the Friday, at Rabbi's Cafe, and I will be there between 9 AM and 12. So if you'd like to pop in and spend a little bit of time and say hi before you head off to the festival, then it would be lovely to see you there. The cafe is really near the Princes Street exit of Edinburgh Waverley Station, so if you're hopping off the train there, it's just a little way up the street, and there are buses outside that you can catch directly to the festival. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it last year. it was so nice just to take a relaxed moment and yeah, share some time with some of you. It's a really informal meeting. I haven't booked anything. It's more like a knitters flash mob. If you are planning to come, then please pop over to the Ravelry group and just say hi there, and we'll look forward to seeing you. I also wanted to remind you that sign-ups for Q1 of the Advent mini skein swap will close on Monday the 11th of February. So if you want to join in and swap mini skeins for any project, then please pop over to the Ravelry group and join in. So at the beginning of the year, I kind of resolved to choose a vintage project each month and to give that some of my attention during the month. And when I first decided to do this, I had decided that I sort of thought that I would have a different one each month, but I've decided to stick with last month's vintage project just in the interest of actually finishing it off. And so I am still working on Boverton, and I am still working on the same sleeve of Boverton. I'm finding the colour work, I just don't seem to be getting into a groove with it like I did on the body. And also I've been distracted, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I'm basically trying to do one row of squares a day, and I'm hoping that that will mean that I will have it finished for EYF. My colour work on the sleeve is not incredibly neat, so when I do finish this sleeve I'm just going to wash it and make sure that I'm happy with the finish, because I know a wash will even things out and make it look a lot nicer. It's just whether or not it will correct all of the things I think it will. And I had undone, I think the last time I spoke to you I had undone the sleeve because it didn't fit very well, and I've made some changes to the fit. I've started the decreases a lot further down, and it's not nearly as tight as it was, and I can definitely get a t-shirt under here now. So it's wearable now, which is infinitely better than the first sleeve. Yeah, so slow going on Boverton, but I'm going to continue to focus on that this month so that I have a lovely new cardie eventually. I'm dubbing this next project Louleigh's Folly. I have started something new, partly because I planned to knit this when I was inspired to knit this at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival last year. It's a garment that's suitable for spring, and so it kind of, in my mind, it made sense to try and get it done for the Edinburgh Yarn Festival this year, just so I would have a spring garment ready and in my wardrobe yeah, this year, rather than letting it languish. So last year at the knit night I met Elizabeth Doherty, and is it Doherty? Is there a T in there? Yes, Elizabeth Doherty, and she was wearing her Markley jersey, and she explained the details and construction to me, and I thought it was just such a nice jersey. It's still got an oversized element to it, but I think it has enough shaping and interest to make it really flattering. So I bought the pattern and wandered around the festival looking for some yarn, and I found the perfect thing. And then I went off to think about it, and when I came back there were only 3 skeins left, and I hadn't really seen anything else that I really wanted to have in my wardrobe, and I knew that 3 skeins was going to be pushing it, but I decided to go forth boldly anyway. So I've started this knowing that I don't have enough yarn, and that's probably partly why I've put off knitting it for so long, because of the yarn dilemma. But I really love the yarn, and in my mind I bought it for this and I don't want to make anything else with it. And people have suggested things like striping, which is totally not my thing, and colour blocking, which I'm not overly keen on either. Anyway, so this is where I am with Markley. It looks like a large lump of fabric just now, but I really love this colourway and I love the way it's been knitting up. I'm almost at the bottom of the torso. I'm just at the point where I need to start doing the ribbing, and I have 25% of the yarn left. So I've had a rummage through my stash to see if I have anything that I really wanted to put with it, so that I could eke out the yarn that I have left and have a nice wearable top. And I found a couple of yarns that were okay, but not awesome. And I guess they would do, but I kind of feel like in buying a hand-dyed yarn for this, I've kind of spent quite a lot of money on it already, and so to put in something that I don't think is awesome just makes no sense for me. I would rather buy something that I really liked and that I felt would enhance the jersey. So I did think about putting a denim colour, because there is kind of a denim blue colour in this yarn. But I wear denim a lot and I wear jeans a lot, and I'm not really a denim on denim sort of person. So I've chosen one of the browns and ordered a skein of yarn, and I hope in real life it will be as awesome as it looks online. And I'm just waiting for that to arrive, and then I'm going to start working on the neckline, just to see how I feel about it before I progress with this any further. I think the other option, I do like the amount of ease in this jersey, but I think I could get away with a little bit less ease. I would prefer to leave it at this size, but yeah, I think I could rip it back and knit a size smaller and still have it be quite wearable and versatile in my wardrobe. So that's another option. Anyway, I'm going forth with the supplementary colour option at the moment and just waiting for that to arrive. However, you can see that there is a sea of stocking stitch here, and so I have been using this as my reading project. I'm not sure if that was a New Year's resolution or something I decided to do last year, was to read more books. I think last time I talked about this, I was reading Mist over Pendle, which is by Robert Neal, and it's about the witch trials in Pendle. And I really enjoyed it. I finished it now and I really enjoyed it. The main character is super interested in clothes, so if you're interested in sort of like period dress, then you might enjoy reading this for that element of the book. I think I was recommended this by a friend when I said to her that I wanted to read a mystery or something like that. And I think this is more of a courtroom drama. Yeah, but yeah, it was quite a compelling, easy read, and I enjoyed it. It was a good book. I've also been listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I've really enjoyed that as well. It's been really interesting to hear about her life in her own voice, and I think One of the things about biographies though is that you kind of know what happens in the end. And so it's actually the beginning that is the really interesting bit. I think too that as a first lady, she's kind of, I didn't know much about her, and so it was really good to hear about her life and her background, as I say, in her own voice. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, if you're looking for a good listen, then that's a good one. So yeah, this project is Louleigh's Folly. So that is all from me for today. It's been so nice to sit and spend some time with you. My focus projects for this week, I think, for the coming week, are going to be Boverton and Markley, and the Hairy Man socks as well. I've got those on the side downstairs. Actually, I also have a swatch for a yarn that I'm planning to review. It's currently tucked into my bra because I'm doing the armpit review at the moment. So hopefully I'll be telling you about that next week as well. But it's been really nice to sit down and have a cup of tea with you and share some time. If you enjoyed yourself, please pop over to the Ravelry group and say hi, and subscribe and like below, and I will see you next time. Cheerio!